Welcome back to another episode of Abundance on Tap, everyone. We are coming to you from Rivercliff Farm today, and we got the Dream Team. This is the initial group of happenstantial, life trajectory changing, at least for me, group of people. So my name is Alex Corey. We got Ashley DeMarco, and we are at Justin Gardner's land, and he is the man behind the scenes of the growing aspect of the Appalachian Water Collective. We're doing a ton of different experiments, which we're going to get into with ionized water and just in general with permaculture. And we've been chatting a long time about doing this, and we've never gotten your story. I've gotten it over the last couple of years, but where did you come to from, well, Schauberger and all of that? Like, what initially piqued your interest in electroculture and growing? Give people a little background and wherever you want to start about your history of growing.
Well, first thing, problem with my story is it can't all be told at one time.
Sure.
Nobody has 38 years to sit and listen to me, and I can't remember all of it.
Cliff notes.
There's the problem. What got me was honestly YouTube University aspect of things, where you could type in what you think and what you're curious about, and somebody made a video of something about it. So all my trials, I didn't reach structured water until I really hit the whole permaculture swing. Going from monoculture, doing things certain ways.
Yeah, give people a little snippet of what permaculture is and how it's different from monoculture.
Well, you've got biodynamic permaculture, which you're actually using all elements of the earth in a recyclable form. I even went as far as buying women's pantyhose, stuffing it full of starch white rice, and go plant it next to a maple tree or oak or whatever species I was looking for, to then grow the microbiology. After a month, go retrieve that sock, run it through a strainer, and get all that. Because I'm looking to grow oak trees or walnut trees or chestnut trees, whatever I'm looking for, I want to go get the team of bacteria that's already hosting and supporting the species. And then through a chain of hours of YouTubing, I discovered Schauberger, structured water, and the pull forward versus the push methodology. You're being pulled, drawn forward. You're not actually exerting force to push. Airplanes operate in the same fashion. Fish swim upstream in the same fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized everything I'd been told was 180 degrees wrong. So I started looking at everything in the lens of, if they're saying this, how do I change the lens and look somewhere else?
So the paradigm shift happened quite before you actually started doing everything. Permaculture, ionized water, your paradigm and your perspective started shifting when
Right.
you came into the new information rather than actually playing with it firsthand.
Yeah, and then I took a hand at domesticated wildlife, mainly pigs, to use those as tillers. Cultivate land, then move them off of it, and then use their work plus their waste and putting all the inputs right back in there. Seems simple enough, and not enough people are doing it.
Hard. Takes a lot of time. There's no quick. A lot of people.
But you know what's hard? Coming up with tens of thousands of dollars a year for artificial supplements that don't really pay you that back. You still scraping bottom when you. All the monocrops, I don't care if it's big tobacco, big lettuce, big buckwheat, whatever. You put all your attention in one thing, you're not gonna be happy every year.
And then you need crop insurance and other things to protect your initial investment because you have so much in one thing and there's no diversity to buffer life or investment or anything.
It's all the eggs in the basket thing.
Yep. What piques your interest in that, Ashley?
Well, it's just so ironic that you say that because so many people move out here to Appalachia to do that. And I think they're under the impression that it's some sort of cheaper option, and maybe it is, but it definitely is cost intensive to do things the right way, to invest in the infrastructure so that it does flow and you are providing the right environment for these things to grow. I mean, if you're going to depend on it to nourish you and give you medicine, right? We want to provide better environments So I don't know. It's definitely super interesting, and I absolutely love working with you too because I learn so much every time I'm up here, and it's like there is so many layers to what we're doing, and the fact that he came upon it in that way, and then you came upon it in your way, and my way is just like literal like fucking up, over and over and over. It's just like, okay, well, I did that wrong. It's like trying to learn new things by just stumbling through it, and so it's really nice to have so much experience and so much like wisdom. And before we hopped on here, he was sharing just like, oh, I just noticed these same patterns every year. And it's this thing when you're living life this way, it's very interesting how these patterns work. And most people are so out of touch with where their medicine or food comes from. They have no idea like how it works.
Yeah.
Like the amount of time, energy. And like you said, it takes a ton of money.
Well, it takes a lot of patience, attention.
Yeah.
I guess the most direct quote that got me was, humans need nature. Nature doesn't need humans. So going from obsessive cannabis driven, that's all I wanted to grow. I didn't give a shit about any other plant in the world, just weed. And then when that lost all of its enthusiasm, I'm like, what's all this other stuff?
Yeah.
What does this do? Can I make money with that? How
Yeah.
valuable is this? Nope. Then here you go. This is the birth of this.
Yep.
Just throw a bunch of stuff in there, see what happens. Take one seed and you can count all the seeds in an apple, but not all the apples in a seed.
I love that quote. That's-
Apply that to any fruit.
Yeah.
But most people
Have fun
have
with
no
strawberries.
idea. Yeah. I mean, but most people have no idea.
It's strawberries. Out of one.
Like, I ask people often, I'm like, do you know that one fruit will grow more, or one zucchini will grow more? And they have no idea that you can do that.
Well, if you're used to going to the grocery store and your entire experience around food is you just go to the grocery store and you're completely,
Else put it there for you.
yes, it's kind of like
magically shows up
Santa's
every night.
helpers just dropped it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive infrastructure behind all that, just-in-time supply system where my entire intro to agriculture was just realizing how fragile the food system was, where I think people got a glimpse of that in 2020, where shipping slowed down and just trucking across the country, and there were just entire sections completely missing. People were like, you guys should fix this. And they're like, how would you like us to do that? If, like, most things are shipped to the East Coast from California and from Mexico still. So we're fortunate enough to live in the most, I think it's probably the most diverse agricultural and farming section of the East Coast. That's why Asheville has kept my attention, because we are surrounded by some of the highest quality food. So it's a really good place to be whenever shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I stayed here.
I mean, that's why we're literally sitting here right now. Like, we're all testing everything as much as possible so that we can find the best solutions to what we see. Like, I mean, if it's gonna happen once, it's gonna happen again. And why not just have that power? Like, I mean, we're all sitting here today because we love this. We get to create our own water, like our own electricity, our own voltage. I don't have to
I'm
go.
not part of the blue bottle crew.
I
He's
mean,
a little rougher. He needs
Black
the,
can.
Yeah.
it's good. It's
Well,
good.
all right,
It's not
so-
breakable.
If my chain of events had not happened, I would probably be born and raised, or was born in Miami, Florida, but raised there as well. Nobody asked me if I wanted to move up here. Like, I just got pulled up here because I was only 3, and I've been here ever since. So, first 20 years or so, I really didn't give a no care, just doing what little I was doing, and then trying to make something somewhere else. And then within the last 10 years, I was like, shit, it's all right here the whole time. What if I started on this sooner? How far more along would I be? Because right now, everyone thinks I'm doing a great job. I look around, I'm like, I'm so far behind. I mean, there's like 200 hours worth of stuff to do, and everybody gets 168 hours of the week.
Yeah.
So,
How many acres are we sitting on?
327.
That's a few to maintain. And in cultivation, like 2? Greenhouse plus hoop houses plus Hillside, like 1, 2?
This general area is 3.
Okay. Yeah, 3's enough. 3's hard. If you're
It's a 100th.
if you're focusing on
It's a penny. It's a
actual
penny on your
food,
dollar.
it's so much to take care of.
It
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
But hey, I never have an excuse to be bored
No.
or like, why aren't you doing it? Well, honestly, because I can't do it all, so I don't want to do any of it right now.
All or nothing mentality.
I'm gonna watch some stupid shit online for a couple hours. Watch a podcast, eat some acid. I mean, shit, edit. I don't know.
You're good.
It's one of my things. It's psychedelic sanctuary.
I mean, this guy, his brain works like a completely different way than I've ever really witnessed. It's like so in touch with, like you said, the intricacies and the patterns of nature. And like, you know, whether it's being up here his whole life or just like being, you know, born that way, it's like his brain, the capacity to see things. So it's very interesting. Universe called us together. So I would love to know, like, how has your life changed since we met at the barbecue?
Oh, fucking,
Trajectory change.
like, I don't know, 1,080 degrees,
Yeah.
4 times over with Tony Hawk skateboarding. Then go to 960s, 820s.
It's one of those. This group of people is one of those
7.
where you try to think back, and you're just like, where would I be or not be had I not met this one person, or had you not met Ashley, and then
Well, that's why I
not met
quit
you?
believing coincidences years ago.
Yeah.
None of this is coincidence. I believe in the idea of creation over evolution. Like, if you think this is your intention, you're gonna operate a lot better than thinking you're a mistake or an accident.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm supposed to be. All right, fuck, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So,
If I'm thinking I'm a mistake, I'm gonna be fucking shy and feeble and inconfident.
Nihilistic. Yeah.
but it is crazy to think about it, right? Like, I almost didn't make it to that event. There was so many things that were happening with my kids that day.
Because
Like,
I was bored and it was the first one. I was like, shit, first one I gotta go see.
I know,
I'm
but
a first for everything. I'm a sucker.
FOMO.
Gotta
No,
try it
but-
once. You can't judge if you don't try.
yeah, I mean, and then he shows up and he's so knowledgeable about water. He's already vortexing and restructuring on his own engineered device, and I was just like, this is patented technology. Like, these are medical facilities are using this. Like, you don't have to do like the work. A lot of the time, you know, in this lifestyle, you got to do it all yourself. It's all DIY. And so I feel like it was really nice for you to stumble upon a technology and a company and a business that was like, here's a system, here's a
And
community.
It's give me a worldwide entrepreneurship
Yeah.
titlement. Purpose.
What were you? What I'm curious because I haven't gotten the full story. What were you doing before the ionizer? What did you make? What were you doing?
I wasn't doing shit. I was steering a sinking ship here.
No, I mean for water specifically.
Oh, I was doing magnets and magnetic marbles and certain stones, and
So probably restructuring.
yeah, I was just following some of these devices that were already out there, and I was like, I can do that.
Huh.
I got plenty of stuff, carbon filters. Like, I can put. So I glued some PVC components together and packed it full of whatever I could find that I thought was going to be useful, and pressurized it.
Yeah.
And it seemed to work. I didn't have any real science document
I was gonna
behind
say,
it.
did you test anything? Did you have an ORP meter at that time
No.
or anything?
No.
Okay.
No, I was just pretty much doing a blind study of, all right, let me drink without this and let me drink with it. And
What'd you notice?
oh, the other one was definitely lighter and sweeter, and it's disturbed. Have you ever seen when mud is dry versus when it's a mud puddle, and you go try to it's so when your insides feel more malleable, more squishy,
Fluid,
your joints feel better, everything seems a little
hydrated,
it's hydrated, yeah, lubricated.
lubricated.
Like a buffer.
You know, most people are
Yeah.
running around with no cap in their radiator. Fluid's going everywhere. It's not staying in. It's going out. It's sweating it out.
Not absorbing.
Not doing anything. It's taking up real estate.
So my first exposure to the ionizer.
Like floodwaters in a city. Have you ever seen that?
No.
There's a whole lot of water, but it's not going anywhere. It's causing a problem.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Floodwaters are problematic.
It's not built for
It
it.
won't go away.
There's no drainage
Too
built
much
in.
of it. So think of, I've heard people complain about, you can die from drinking too much water. I'm like, yeah, that's water toxicity, but you really have to try to do that.
Yeah.
You're gonna regurgitate. You're gonna blow out, eat whatever hole it can find, and you're gonna regret it. You're gonna wish you were dead, but you won't be. But this ionized water actually take dry soil and try to soak it. How much is it gonna run off before it all gets equally, consistently saturated? The same ways.
When you got the tech for what made you get the tech when we started doing microgreens? What made you get the ionizer? Was it that we had a microgreens operation?
The reason I got the ionizer, as much as I've known about pH and the importance of it, when I realized I could run the gamut, I developed a God complex. And I said, this is the next best thing to playing God. If I can control all life based on the pH it fucking operates within, the voltage, the cellular structures, I don't care if you're a lizard, a rat, a dog, you, me, it's all the same.
It's so crazy.
We have access.
Nothing lives without water. Not one cellular organism. Grass. You starve it from water, it will not grow.
Yeah, it's kind of the basis of life.
So, there we go.
That and electricity.
You should have seen this lunatic walking around Bangkok with this. They're like, what is that? What are you...
Yeah, so you were in
so
Bangkok
impressed.
for 2.5 weeks with that.
I'm
giant
impressed. Like,
canister.
what are y'all? You're like rats in a recycling center over here with all this plastic.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You should be ashamed of yourself.
But that's the thing.
They don't know. They don't know. If they knew better, they'd do better. And Enagic has a headquarters there.
But what does it feel like when you don't have the water? Like really, when you
Borderline panic attack.
for both of you. I mean,
If you could sit there and watch a meter like ding, 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 dead.
I mean,
There's a red line meter on your fucking arm.
When I was flying back from Mexico,
It's bad.
I had rolling panic attacks, and I was like, I don't feel good. Super dehydrated. Heart rate was jacked up. And that was multiple different factors, but dehydration was probably a huge one of them. A lot of the fitness community prides themselves on being able to push through exhaustion and dehydration and all that. I was like, for something
and it looks
useful,
like an
maybe
88
not on an
Toyota.
airplane. Like, it's, yeah.
Still going, but it looks like hell.
But that's the crazy part. Is like, so many people don't even realize like how valuable this is and they even have it, until they leave it, right? It's like I only left it one time and you see me crazily brainless all over the place for 1 week, even if I'm only going for 1 week, I'll fly somewhere with it. But it's like not having it gives me so much anxiety because I drink a gallon a day at least.
Well, we also have brilliant scientists, doctors out there that have the lab equipment and the drive to do samples of studies on same person, lack of water, abundance of water, and how they operate. And if you can see a brain scan real time, and it's real easy to understand, oh, which one am I?
Right.
Yeah. But it's like so based off of how you feel, it's so, our society is so based off of buying energy. Like every corner you look at, anywhere you go is like just energy options for purchase. And it's like and everything you buy is just, you drink it and then you throw it away. It's not this thing that you think about. And so when you come into our community, you see these and like, everybody jokes about this, but like, Justin is drinking enough water.
The
like
fun part is it gets lighter throughout the day.
Exactly.
Every sip gets a little lighter,
But like, that's the
ultimate resistance.
what we all can be doing is carrying around our own bottles. I was just checking out at the nursery today, and the woman behind me, she's like, I just don't get thirsty anymore. And she was probably in her 60s, and I was like, it's actually a thing. Like, that thirst quench starts to go away. You have to like have it with you. Like, we all bring it with us, because if you see it, you grab it, you drink it. It's something that I've seen, and through especially being around you two, it's just like we're constantly thinking about it. We've made it that 75% mental space, like trying to get it in. And because of that, I believe this is why the mental acuity, this is why all of the projects are finally starting to like spring, because that cohesion, all of that electromagnetic currency that keeps the cells operating out of really optimal space, you know, is on. And you can feel it. I know I feel it immediately when I'm dehydrated. So, or that I'm not drinking enough. And it's like, I'm going right there. I'm getting it fresh. I'm drinking the cloud, like constantly.
It's a habit that's been practicing us. Now it's a discipline, and it's embedded in subconsciousness.
Yeah.
How long do you think it took for you before it was embedded?
Oh, fuck. Once I started traveling with it, at first south to Colorado, and then that second one out to Mexico, and now this third one to Thailand, I was like, man, this fuck.
Yeah.
When I got out to Isan, Thailand, I got settled in. And I'm asking, all right, now I am in this area, this ruralness of Thai, 3 hours from Bangkok. So I open my suitcase, I'm like, hey, I need to hook this up. And the host, his name is Chris, his family's farm, beautiful place, great place to grow cannabis. I open this thing up, he's like, dude, you travel around with that? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's fucking awesome. I was like, I know, I gotta hook this shit up and show you. So he got his resident handyman and he changed the whole sink out to make this machine work.
Amazing.
But then they didn't have pressure to make it work right. So, but it was better than nothing because I had
just a trickle.
It was barely. It's probably took 45 minutes to fill a 5-gallon jug off the top hose.
If there's one thing that I will never take for granted, it is the Western plumbing system.
Yeah.
Like it is. That was the thing that stressed me out the most in Mexico.
Flow rate got me. But then once I got in the city and
consistency
it was fine.
Even reliable garbage water, because we can transform it, we actively do, but if you don't even have the consistency of any of those things that allow the technology to work, that is stressful.
Yeah. So now I'm thinking, how do I get like this miniaturized solar powered 12-volt AC pump?
Yep.
Because they had 5-gallon buckets. I'm like, shit, if I had my pump, I could use the bucket. No.
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah. Next time.
But these are all things that are going forward I'm not going to ever not remember because I'm going to be going back to the same farm, the same guys, overseeing, helping with the grows. And water, cannabis, and just the ability to travel the world and knowledge of how to grow. Like, I don't know all the plants, the conditions. The only thing I know is North America.
Right.
Well, even if I went out to Utah, tried to grow something. I don't know this condition. I know
Totally
these
different
conditions. So that's another challenge, be able to adapt to whatever condition you walk into. Figure it out and make something work.
Mm-hmm. So whenever you met Ashley and she started talking about the machine and the business, what piqued your attention most?
Her banner said structured water. Structured living water. And I'm like, oh, let's see what she knows. Because I know a little bit. I've been in it like 4 years at this point, fucking around. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm like, got the right lingo, let's go see.
Yeah.
And then drank a bottle. I think I conned her out of 2 for 1. I didn't have a 5, I only had a 10.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. But
yeah, you definitely left with like 2 gallons of water.
I was left with a 5-gallon liter and a blue bottle. $10. And I drank half of it standing there talking to her.
Yep.
And then I realized, shit, I didn't get any information. How do I get a hold? And luckily, she went to my spam folder when she reached out for the follow-up. So I went to spam folder.
That Proton mail.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, this is Yahoo at the time. Yahoo, this is before Proton.
Okay.
Oh, that was mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Had to
You
catch her in the
responded.
spam folder.
Yep. He responded pretty quick and was like, oh, I'll look at the information. And then within a week, he was like, can I do this? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. You know, and it was so nice because he just drove over and then he realized he lives 10 minutes from the house.
And she was brand new.
Yeah.
March. This was August.
Yeah.
So 4 months. I'm like,
New to
new
the
kid
area.
in town. New kid in town. All right. I like new people. They're looking at the same old whoever's.
Yeah, it's a small world up here.
I got 35 years invested in this place.
Yeah.
crazy. That's why I want to go other places.
Uh-huh.
I've seen everything there is to see. Go somewhere else. Go see what they're doing.
And now you can. So,
Especially
yeah,
with
what piqued
invitation.
your interest about... So the business was just gravy on top of the water that you could travel around the world with it.
Yeah, but had I gone into this with the business mindset as well as I was just gonna have it for me. I didn't want to be a salesman.
Right.
Like I just wanted it for myself.
It's the problem with engineers is we like...
And then it turned into like, oh shit, you should explain that better.
Yeah.
But I figured it out. It took Garrett. I watched one of his webinar, team something he did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the way he broke it down, and I started watching all the other presentations on YouTube of people breaking it out,
Yeah.
expanding it out, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I started this off the hard way, not the easy way.
So this is evolutionary.
Yeah, I would have went full trifecta. I would have went the whole.
Mm.
I would have had not known, but I was like, I just want the machine. Give me
Yeah.
that. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Fuck the rest. No.
Yep.
And then I kicked myself in the ass, and here we are.
Hear that, anyone thinking about the business? Do everything.
Yeah, the trifecta. I mean, that's the problem. I was so invested and so in love with the water tech that I really didn't even share the other stuff because I just wanted people to experience this so bad, their health. Like, I was just like, if everybody could have one machine, right? Like, if every household had one machine, it would eliminate, like, so much toxicity from our world. Like, if everybody stopped buying the products that this replaces, like, it would just be like instantaneous. No one would have to go to the store for half the things that they go to now. So
Yeah.
it's incredible the uses too. Like, we're sitting here in a greenhouse, so you can use it here, you can use it in my house, you can use it on these dogs right here, you can use it on my ducks, you can use them like literally any living thing, like Justin was saying. It's been used on, we're testing it, we're trying it, we created a Telegram network of growers and gardeners to share best practices. You know, we're just trying to like pretty much utilize this technology for every capacity.
Yeah. And most people will come and be like, what are you guys talking about? It's just water. And you're like, not quite. Like, if you can play with micronutrient absorption dialed in, if you can play with voltage and electrical properties of things, it's, like you said, real close to having godlike tendencies where you can make sure to the best of your ability that that one factor sets everything around you up to thrive.
What kind of genius idea in a creator mindset? Like, yeah, let's have this potential hydrogen scale that fucking confuses most people.
Yeah.
You start at 7 and go the other.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that be the basis and dictation for everything that survives and thrives or doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good plan. Let's go.
But most people don't even know what pH is.
Yeah.
What's the potential amount of hydrogen available?
And so when you can see that the charts are like, I mean, right off the machine, negative 800.
Millivolts, and that's ORP. That's oxidation reduction potential. And that's when we go to events, that's the thing that gets most people where they get very curious, and that's where I got curious, because if you're in the health world, oxidation and antioxidation or reduction are kind of the name of the game with everything. It's at the most simple level. Is it giving you energy? So is it giving you electrons back and filling those holes that oxidation, think just oxygen being a big atom and pulling electrons off things. So most inflammation in chronic disease is oxidation based. So if you can actively repair that, like your body's got brilliant built-in systems to do it itself, but we're bombarded with toxicity every day. So the power of molecular hydrogen, most people stop on the pH, right? And that's cool, especially for growing. But on the health side, having a bioavailable antioxidant just in your water that you can consume all day is the most powerful thing I can think of. Because I only eat 3 times a day max, maybe twice. So if your antioxidants are only coming in twice a day and you're exposed to, thankfully we're in a pretty rural area, so we don't have like brake dust.
I still got them
I know,
fucking streets.
it's non-native EMF.
Today we're looking
everything.
pretty good. Today's a beautiful.
But compared to like a
It's nasty.
city,
Yeah, it's compared to
just having antioxidants all the time, that's why my anxiety goes up a little bit. It's kind of the more you know whenever I don't have access to the water, because you kind of feel, once you raise your baseline so much and you feel yourself back down to like 40%, which might have used to be my 80 or 90%, do everything you can to get back up to homeostasis, and your bar raises, which is an unfortunate benefit.
And the only times we've not had it is when we were flying.
Yeah.
And flying dehydrates you. And you're probably in closer to a city than you are now. And you're traveling and you're around a ton of people. So you're absorbing their energy. And it's like, you know, that's the craziest part about this, is you can control like how much voltage you can have, right? So if there's, you know, like you can just have unlimited. And like, I'm a mom and I'm constantly giving energy out all day long. So like, you know, it's so normalized for moms to grab the bottle of wine or whatever. And, you know, if I was doing that all day, I'd be literal shit-faced all day. But I'm grabbing my water and I'm feeling good. And now my kids see me grabbing my water. So they're grabbing the water. And so it's so simple. Like, we complicate health in a lot of ways. And there is, you know, everybody metabolizes different, all of those things. But when it comes to hydrogen and it comes to voltage, every single person on the planet can use more of it. And the more toxicity we see in the world and the environment, I mean, the reason why I grow food is because I'm so sick. I mean, I buy all organic, 100%. And I definitely spend way more than 30% of what conventional eaters buy, right? And I'm washing my produce with the 11.5 high alkalized water that this technology makes, right? It's emulsifying so much oil residue off of these clean produce that I just spent a ton of money on. And it's like, it's so gross. It's a film and it's oil and it's gross. And I'm just like,
do you ever take a shot of it before bed? Just for like a gastrointestinal.
Yeah.
Triggers melatonin. That's a weird one too.
Exactly.
But it's like, so that has access to like clean
your house and clean yourself.
Exactly. I mean, it's like all these extra steps that we're taking, it takes time and investment.
I'll tell you one.
Tell me.
So, city water. I have literally took a horse bath with a rag and 2.5.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to get in the city tap water, take a shower. So I just, truck stop, poured it up.
Yeah. I mean, your skin
felt great. Went out
quickly.
Oh, heck yeah. There's
without having to get into the city shower supply and be like, fluoridated.
Yeah.
Even with the Ukon soap, it still feels scaly. Like the water is scaly. It feels like it's calcifying you and not really, making you skin.
Dehydrating you.
So then you go back out in the 90 to 100 degrees city scooter exhaust, taxis.
What's the main? A lot of people get into it from their kids' skin conditions, right?
Yeah.
Like psoriasis or
eczema.
Yeah, that's those are just high inflammatory conditions. So do you think it's the removal of the toxicity or the addition of molecular hydrogen, or both?
Both.
Okay.
I think a lot of skin conditions in young kids is caused by vaccines and also like lots of exposure to glyphosate, like every single baby food tested, even organic, was showing glyphosate. And like all of this food that we think is organic still has glyphosate. So it's like,
you buy anything off a supermarket shelf that's labeled baby food, you're getting industrial.
Yeah.
So it's
made to factory.
It's unfortunate, but it's like these kids are coming in very pure. I mean, we all do, and then they're exposed to these toxins that are chemicals. Like none of this is actually organic matter. So it's just their body is processing. Like I think of eczema and all of these skin conditions as a way to show you like what's going on in the gut, like really. And so the water, for most people,
I got a good one after this.
Yeah, for the most people, I think the water heals the gut first, or helps the gut heal itself. But it's like that's the most inflamed part, I think, of a lot of people. So, their digestion, skin stuff, all of that stuff is, I think, associated with the microbiome. So anyway, that clears up, and it's obviously the external application of the different pH types, and then the internal consuming of it. But it's all, yeah, I mean, I want to show you guys this test. Like my kids, and the test with your kombucha and beer is great too.
Yep.
But like I came home, they love their drinks to look like orange juice, even if it doesn't taste like it. So I just split it.
Frequency at work.
It's plus 600 on the acid scale if I test the ORP of just straight orange juice, plastic carton from the grocery store, right? If I divide that into 3 cartons with 9.5, it goes to negative 500.
Whoa.
There you go.
All right, so dilution is the key.
It's very
and you
important.
stretch your purchase 3 times
Yeah,
further.
exactly. I stretch the purchase 3 times further, but I actually just want my kids to be hydrated.
Right.
But if I have to trick them into thinking that, but it's still actually doing a great job, and it's like the little things that you can do. But yeah, I mean, hydration is the most important part of anything. Like, if you start feeling sick, what's the most important thing that the hospital will tell you?
You gotta flush.
Yeah,
flush.
liquid. Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna listen to the hospital. Don't go to those places.
I know, but it's like
I already know. Just
Western
flush.
allopathic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got all these holes for a reason.
Yeah.
We're well ventilated.
Oh, man.
But I don't remember where I heard it, who said it. But there's a connection from your gut bacteria. If you could count your gut cell.
10 to 1.
No. Direct link to your neurocapacity.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was going to say 10 times bacteria.
No, 1 to 1.
Living
your
organism.
bacteria relates to your neuroconnections.
Okay.
Wow.
So as much bacteria as you have, that's how many neuroconnections you have.
Oh, gotcha.
The more neuroconnections you have, the faster, sharper, wittier, conscious.
Mm-hmm. So
people are like, how are you so smart? Well, you eat good and you think right, and you apply your thoughts. Isaiah, wisdom is knowledge applied.
Mm-hmm.
So you can know everything, but if you don't do it, it's action.
Yeah, well,
So
that's
the 3 ways. You got 3 ways to go about doing something. Only 3 ways. Think it, attempt it, complete it.
Yep.
Wile E. Coyote taught us this a long time ago. The fucker never gave up after that Roadrunner. What did I learn from Wile E. Coyote? Keep trying.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's
You're not
great.
guaranteed.
Exactly.
You're not guaranteed to succeed, but maybe.
But the only way that you succeed is that if you try.
Right.
Ultimate form of gambling.
Yes.
How much energy do I need to put in this? Is this going to work? Nope. People pull away from things all the time and then bomb even worse.
Yeah.
If they don't have any, they lost a lot of momentum that would have, realize how close they are to just start snowballing off the other side.
Like you said, in 10 years, if you just didn't stop, where would you have
I think everybody should put in at least 10 years before they make a decision to keep going or stop.
Yeah.
It's 10 years, 40,000 hour rule? If you practice up for 40,000 hours, you should become damn near master it.
10,000.
10,000.
As an expert.
10,000. Yeah.
That's a long time. Yeah.
Well, it is, but I'm going on 40, so I've already had 4 10-year opportunities to try something, and I'm in my first one from 30 to 40 than I was from 20 to 30 or 10 to 20 or 0 to 10.
What excites you most around the property for growing experiments? So we've done electroculture or doing...
Actually, in a way, automation.
Yeah?
Plant it once.
Less work.
Annuals.
Upfront.
Annuals are such a drag.
Yeah.
You gotta do them every year. Stuff like this. Let it rock.
Yep.
Pay attention to it. Spend your time.
Rich, robust root systems and...
Grow stuff. I mean, that's the thing. You can grow it all day long, but if I don't go and harvest any of this stuff, what's the point of growing it?
Right.
So, all that oregano, those mounds, just gonna have to cut it, dry it,
Tinctures.
stash it. I mean, just dried, cured dried,
Yep.
in a pouch, in a trash bag. Use it later.
Really good for so many things, though.
But I gotta get rid of it.
It is
I don't know.
overwhelming.
I'll tincture it.
It's gonna be like drums, 55
I
gallon
know.
drums of tincture.
Yeah.
No.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
It is, but now I need a wholesale buyer and all this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anybody out there that's watching, I mean, this is the thing,
I want to open it up to this. Somebody here at all times that can host people that want to drive up between scheduled, open from 10 to 6. Come in free anytime. Signage, somebody here to assist.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to be here necessarily.
Right.
Been here a long time.
Pick your own herbs.
That's right.
Yeah. Fruit.
Guided
herbs,
tours, walk
butter.
around. whatever. Have fun with the place.
Lot of land. Lot of land.
Exactly.
Deer,
And I want to be like
turkeys.
Mr. Burns looking guy, holding it all to myself. Like, no, you can't play with it. It's all mine. Nah, fuck it. I don't want all this, honestly. I was born into it. It's not my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
share.
can't take it with me. So
It's a blessing
Have it.
that may feel like a curse sometimes.
Well, I feel like a steward to it. I don't feel like an owner of
Right.
it. I'm not an owner of this. I'm a steward. You just have 25% of the responsibility.
Isn't that odd? Owning
It is.
land.
It is. We don't own nothing in this life. You just borrow it.
Really do. I mean, I'm gonna pass it to my kids, but I'm borrowing it. No,
You're going to have to dig a pretty big hole to put this in there with me so I can enjoy it.
So back from Mexico. That's
Yeah.
pretty elaborate too.
Who's got young kids? It's yours.
But that's the thing. I mean, you
Here's
guys
the
are
paperwork.
planting lots of things for the future here. I mean, that
Yeah, all those trees.
do we know many people that plan like that unless you are in this environment mentally, you know? Like, I don't know many people who plan like that unless they're thinking like, I'm gonna plant these fruit trees for the next generation, right?
Well, other people thought it was a good idea, and I got turned on to their philosophy, so I'm like, well, shit, I'm not the first. I'm not Johnny Appleseed. I mean, just take him.
Yeah.
Everybody can follow that step.
Yep. Broadcast. So as you go for future generations, there
And then
is
come back and
something-
visit and check the progress from time
Yeah.
to time. I mean, you plant something today you know is not going to be ready in 10 years, but still what? You go,
walnut tree,
yeah, a lot of stuff. I've got
avocado.
all kinds of shit around here. I planted a long time ago, and I've yet to go back and see how it's doing.
Right. That is a different type of mindset, though.
But don't you forget where you put stuff.
Well, that's, yeah. I mean,
You get lost out there. Shit, I thought it was right here. This tree
that's
with
most
the
of berries around the edges, and
There's the tree with the broken limb that I documented.
yeah,
It's not here anymore.
there's a lot going on around here.
Mapping, cartography.
Yeah,
That needs to happen.
definitely.
Go into the pyramid real quick.
Oh, the pyramid. Oh.
I still have the book, by the way. I need to give that back to you. Les Brown, the
So
pyramid.
we need to make millions of copies of that and just start stuffing in
Yeah.
people's mailboxes.
So what's the experiment?
The experiment is if you build to the Giza dimensions of ratio, proportion, and angularity, if you set that on right ley lines of your water table, it will draw a natural spire of non-stop water out of the ground under the peak of the pyramids. It'll make it natural. So instead of having to drill for wells and rely on municipalities, if you could just put up a structure that just made water started rising up out of the ground with its power and tensions, then why wouldn't people have those in their yards versus spending $6,000 to drill 600 feet in the ground to throw an artificial pump in it that won't work if the grid goes down?
Yeah.
Now you can't get your water out of your hole.
Yeah.
But if you've got a non-stop, never-ending, it's like make your own spring. People love to go when they go house and land scouting. Like, does it have running water? Does it have a spring? Oh yeah, spring fed. You know, it's 100 years old. All this shit. But just be like, here, pop a pyramid.
Yep.
Here comes the water,
And then transform it.
and then use it as you will.
Yep.
So the story I got turned on to, this guy just built a pyramid just because he came across this document, had the money to do it. He didn't know anything about this water is going to start coming up out of the ground for no reason. So he built this thing, and all of a sudden he wound up with a fucking moat around his pyramid and had to build a bridge so he could access it because now he's got just this fountain of water just spiring up out of the ground for no apparent reason other than he built his pyramid right here. So I want to do that.
Yeah. There's worse problems to have.
And the contour of the land, I could pond it and have all the runoff now feed the already defined method of water extraction down to the river it goes.
Yep.
So primary water generator.
Yep.
Sounds pretty fucking fun to me. The only thing is, pretty expensive.
Yep.
So
Well, they make models, right? So you just
They
have to
make
get the
models.
base angles correct.
it's the ratio proportion.
Right.
You just have to have the angles and the,
Closer to perfect. More power
So with
generate.
miniatures, you can have the same ratio from this one to this one.
Right.
Or from this one to that one. It's just got to feed a certain couple parameters.
And is that tied into electroculture at all?
It's tied into all the etheric energies of the world. If you look at the ground as a coil, negative side of the battery, and all that all the way up is all the hot lead. And then we're just conductors attaching the sky to the ground.
So whenever we
Copper
spiral
energy,
copper,
trees, I mean, it's all or there's an argument if it's electromagnetic or magnetic electro. Because which one comes first? Does the magnetism create the electricity, or does electricity create the magnetism?
why does one have to come first?
Chicken or the egg? Because that's the fucking argument of man.
I think that's duality.
Well, that's it.
You need
Okay,
both.
there you go.
You need both.
So neither comes
Law of
first. They're
polarity.
in sequence at the same time.
Yeah.
The sun and the moon.
Yep.
Yin and yang, all of it. So I guess nothing comes first. It
Right.
comes at the same time.
Ooh.
So, I'm curious, because we're going to put up more spiral coppers. I'm curious what happens
Here's what happens too.
in...
Because I can tell you where I want to put this pyramid. If all of a sudden water comes up out of the ground, I'm convinced.
And then we got to figure out what to do with it.
But that's the thing that's so
Well, we use what we need. Dig out, excavate, make the container,
pond.
and then all the overflow can just overflow where it's
Right.
been overflowing.
Yeah.
Right where it needs to be.
This is going to be
right?
streamed through the driveway.
It's just going to have a raging river, a creek, nonstop,
Straight
running down
Yep.
the whole... Because right now it's wet weather.
Right.
When it builds up a lot of rains, it'll run for a while, and then it'll stop. But if it was something that never stopped, it would never stop.
Right.
And then it would eventually just that persistence of, instead of a start, stop, forming of something versus a continual never stops. It gets that finer walls, and spend a lot of time watching water tear shit up.
Yeah. It does that.
It does. It's fascinating.
Yeah. Most destructive force I can think of.
Persistent.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Ashley?
I just think it's so interesting that we're always experimenting, right? Like with a lot of the things that we're doing, but within our community, I mean, we're constantly testing out different methods for automation in the business, automation in the ground, right? And like bringing these two worlds together. I'd love to know, you know, the tech side isn't necessarily your favorite, but you're getting, I mean, you're in the community calls every week, like you're showing up and doing that. How has that been for you, like merging the two? Because I feel like you two are bringing so much of the earth and that conversation to the digital world.
I found people that actually listen to us. A lot of people, they can't hold more than a couple minutes in what?
Right.
They pull out their phone.
Yeah. But why
a
do you
lot.
think that
It
is?
does. Oh,
That there's got to be something to that there's just receptivity. Open-minded, or what is it? I mean,
it's almost like you can watch the dehydration process.
it's so
Slow-mo
true.
dehydrating. Like,
Oh, man.
yeah,
You think it's
your
just...
eyes get a little heavy and your head gets a little...
Is it a cognitive dissonance thing, or is it just an entirely new perspective that they have no framework or context for, and therefore it can be just overwhelming? Talking about automation, about growing, is it just so out of the normal realm of their day-to-day that you have to start with, like, plant a seed or something like that?
Would you consider yourself a driver or a navigator? Navigator's
Navigator.
looking for shit in the way coming up. A driver's just like, pfft,
Navigator.
oh, is that a deer? Yeah, that navigator's like, bro, brakes.
Yeah.
Are you a navigator or a driver?
Definitely
Interesting.
navigator.
That's a good way to
There's a
put
lot
it.
of drivers out there. Guess what? They're the ones causing problems on the highway.
Yeah.
But I think if that's looking at things like here, looking at things big picture, and I think specifically you two and me too, you know, it's like constantly looking at, again, planning for time, whatever this time is. I mean, it's definitely non-linear to me, but it's like
No,
that
it's not.
system of trial. Who do you know? I mean, like, look at all of the people who are mainstream right now. Like, they're not actually trialing anything. They're not trying new foods. They're not trying new books. They're not trying new business opportunities, and not opportunities, like skill sets and mindsets and different ways to try something. Like he's saying, like, I'm gonna try this, like, I don't know if it's gonna work, like, I'm gonna try all these things, I don't know if it's gonna work, and you're just constantly trying. And that's what I said when I learned by fucking up, because I'm constantly trying stuff. But don't you think that's a main difference between these, I mean, the polar
Off
opposite?
the bleachers onto the playing field.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So many people have something to say about what we do, and they're not even on the freaking field. And so many people in our community, and even who haven't even joined yet, let that hold them back. But these people that they're talking to and asking permission from, like, they don't have what they want. So
Because he asked for permission.
why would you listen to somebody that doesn't necessarily have what you want? You know, like, that's what was so beautiful for me, because I mean, it's like we all share so many gifts that each other maybe doesn't have or they're not passionate about. So we've been able to, like, become a collective and become, you know, all these pieces of the puzzle coming together. And like Justin said, it, like, globally. So now, you know, we go to these events, we meet people that we've seen digitally, and we just, like, literally walk off Zoom into these conference rooms, and we're building these relationships, like, digitally and in person. Just like we're, like, I just digitally planned my entire garden, and now I'm gonna get it in the ground. It's like we're bridging these two worlds. And I think what's so beautiful about
The Matrix.
our
So what, you're going in and out of the simulation?
Yeah.
our collective is that, like, we do have both. And that's what's so different about us, because if you look at all the other successful networks in our industry, you don't really see anybody doing what we're doing.
No.
You know, like, they're online a lot more than they're in the earth. And I think that is going to be detrimental to that, you know, to us too. There's got to be a balance. And so I would love to know, what's, like, your favorite thing to do, Justin, to bring balance into your world?
Psychedelics. Fucking A, psychedelics.
What about them?
They'll humble you.
Oh, wow.
It will make you face yourself, and there's a lot of course correction to be had when you one-on-one with your soul.
Yeah, that hit.
Yeah, there's nothing in this.
No specific ones, just all of them. Any of them. From a trusted, repeatable source, of course.
Yeah,
I'm not giving
advocating
medical
anything.
advice. I'm making a disclaimer right now. It's not medical advice. But
We have
But
medical
you're on
devices.
experience.
That is not medical advice.
yeah, and then everything else. Harmonization. You know, the Schumann frequency of the pulse of the earth is 7.83 hertz.
Yeah.
We live in houses with 60 hertz, 120 volts. We're not in a what is it? Harmony.
Would you say that's throwing off the electromagnetic field of the human body at a baseline level most of the day if you're sitting inside?
Yeah, but then
In that
when
wiring?
you look at it as a toxin that's creating, you know, inflammation and cytokine storms and vampiric voltage on your batteries.
Yeah.
Even if you just sit in a 3-rise basic 8 other neighbors apartment, you know, the units I'm talking.
Yeah.
You just sit there and you're gaming all day, drinking Mountain Dew,
I used to do that.
eating fucking Cheetos.
Oh, yeah, I used to do that all the time.
What was your quality of life during that phase?
I was pretty depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was high.
Slowly
during the
start
time.
stripping off one by one and detoxing from that. You've seen alcoholics and heroin addicts go into convulsive fits.
Yep.
Have you ever seen a kid have a meltdown when you take his video game away?
Oh, yeah.
I've been one of those kids, with Nintendo, Game Boy. Motherfucker, I'm running away. I'm never coming back. Flip the fuck out. Now, had I known better, just drink some water, shut up, smoke a joint, you know, take a couple grams. I know, have beer. Everything's cool.
Oh, how we change.
Why wasn't I doing that at 7 years old, having Aiden-style meltdowns over, what are you doing?
Yep.
That's
Like,
true.
and then I see all the parents, like Walmart's just dragging those kids through the aisles. What? Precious. They're going out.
Yeah, but our society is programmed consumers. like everywhere you
The
look.
commercials. I go back and look at the old nostalgic 90s, 80s Nickelodeon, MTV,
Oh,
Cartoon
yeah.
Network commercials. I'm like, fuck, it's brilliant.
Oh yeah,
It worked.
gotta give them
I
credit.
know.
It worked.
They are great at what they
I
do.
gave my mom so much shit.
Yeah.
And think about how
Buy it or
every
else.
single store is set up. Where's the flashiest, most colorful, most toxic kids?
Dollar General's right down the road. Yeah, so that's, I don't know where that question was going, but that's my answer.
I like the answer. I mean, balance is so vital. I mean, again, we all could, I mean, I know I could just drain myself working because I love what I do so much. But, you know, it's like finding those, having those tools that you can access at any time. And, you know, we have actual tools like these ionizer devices or even, you know, mats that have certain frequencies and Healy devices, all these things, right? We have all
Yeah.
these tools.
Oh.
We also just know that putting our
Biohacking.
feet on the earth.
There should be a first grade kindergarten course on biohacking. Like,
Well,
hey, here's kids, here's your mitochondria.
Yeah, how to control your nervous system
Yes.
and your energy
How to not
production.
freak out when you feel your temperature, your mercury's
The
rising.
most simplest thing
Yeah.
to teach kids,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Start them young. Don't try this shit at 18, 20 when they're fucking
Yeah.
Pfizered out.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the hard part, though, is that there are people out there
SSRIs,
trying to start
they're-
them young, but then there's the rest of the population that, like, doesn't have, I mean, this sticks the kids in front of the TV and doesn't even have any idea what's on, like, what's the programming that's happening. And we know it's so quick. Like, it's just, like, instant. They learn so fast. So, you know, growing up, I feel like now you see, you're like, actually, this is how it is. But
And grounding, actually getting your skin to earth contact without concrete, asphalt, astroturf. It's like, you know, we get out there and
Recharge.
get stabbed in the foot with a stick. You know, bleed a little.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember your
Get
call
ready
from a month ago.
bitch feet, man. Get rid of your bitch feet. People,
Carry 2.5 hypochlorous acid with you
Yeah.
when you do that.
yeah,
Yeah. I remember when you went down and I had some in the truck and
Bro.
slapped it on.
I've been hard on my old feet over the years.
Yeah.
Mountains aren't kind.
No.
They're not in the Rockies. They're a different kind of fucking treacherous.
Nettles.
they're wild.
Raspberries. Yeah.
It's wild here. I
They're
mean,
close
it's
together.
definitely-
They're close
yeah.
together. Ravines are tighter. The Rockies, they got huge expanses between two. These, they're like
Old.
old
Ragged.
and steep and jagged.
Yep.
There's things growing everywhere. Like the species of things
Yeah,
growing
a lot of
here is insane. Like,
Yeah, those
you
Rockies,
can't
it's
even
all snow.
compare it to the
I had allergies when I first moved here, and I don't have allergies, but there were so much. I came from New Hampshire, which is also a temperate rainforest, but it doesn't have nearly the diversity that Western North Carolina does. So I had allergies for a year, and I was like, oh, this is why everyone's miserable. Thankfully, it went away, so I adapted. But there are so many different cultivars here. It is one of the most rich places.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that's why I haven't memorized every single thing
right.
out there. I'm just like, it's just too much.
Thousands. Yeah.
Thousands.
You just have to know the things that are on your property, what you can use, what you bump into, works,
What I can incorporate,
what you can
because
incorporate.
there's stuff that grow here, but it's not native.
Right.
Yeah, the whole argument about invasive. Invasive is only something that someone's too lazy to fucking manage. Invasive. You're invasive.
Right. Almost everything's invasive.
Everybody argues about invasive. It's like, well, not if you plan on using it. Bamboo. I get bamboo pushback. I'm like, well, do you plan on thatching fucking structures together with the
Right.
shit? No, you just want to let it grow and forget about it.
Right.
Bitch about it taking over.
Hemp.
No.
Yeah.
Mine can't grow fast enough.
Right.
Hurry up and grow so I can build something.
Yeah.
Nah, don't work like that.
Good point. Depends on if you're going to use it.
Exactly. So, yeah. Started eliminating certain terms out of my vocabulary. Invasive is one of them. Invasive can be so twisted around in context.
Weeds.
Weeds, noxious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is anything you don't personally agree with
Right.
is a problem.
Right. Weed usually just means I don't want it there.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. I don't like it there.
But
That's
if
what
it's
weed
doing
means.
something,
Right.
you're not taking the time to turn your lens and be like, well, why is it there? How about, let's start there.
Yeah.
Why is it there? I don't want it there, but it keeps coming back. Let's figure out why it's there.
Right.
It's doing something.
Plants are indicators.
Why do you think that they spray the dandelions, all over. I mean, where I'm from, like everyone has the perfect, most manicured little quarter-acre lot in the, western or east. I lived in Pennsylvania, so it's just like suburbia, right? And it's like there's not even one weed to be seen. Everything is perfectly perfect.
It's a war on weeds. That's
there's
why.
But think about it. Like, is that really supposed to be how we live? Like, grass brought
Media
in
manipulation.
from, I mean, we didn't even know what natural was. Everything that was planted on the lot was, I mean, they just tore down whole areas and they just built these neighborhoods. So it's just like, I didn't even know anybody growing up that even grew a tomato. Like, maybe it's so edible. Having things that are edible on land really.
How many years was that?
That I grew up there?
Yeah. Before you saw anything growing in the wild.
I mean,
And you got out of Yardtopia.
Yeah, the thing is that what my grandparents lived was more wild. They lived in the mountains, right? And like they had wild blueberry bushes throughout the forest, and that's probably my first exposure to actually picking anything I ate. But it wasn't until I moved to California and started working on farms and I was in my mid-20s that I even learned. Like that was the first time I learned that I could grow multiple cucumbers from one cucumber. I had no idea. That's just insane to me. And so, my kids are 2 and 6 and they're very well aware of how their food grows. And
one becomes many.
so, we're just kind of trying to pass down and pass on as much of this as we can, because again, like people have to care. I really do believe like there has to be more people who care about how they feel and what it feels like to eat food, because it's interesting. I mean, went from the nursery to the grocery store, right? Bought a couple $100 worth of food that will turn into hopefully thousands, right? And then bought food that's $100 that will just be gone, right? And so it's like this thought process, but again, we're planning.
Leverage.
It's gonna take time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait, and again, there's all these different variables when it comes to farming, animals, weather, earth, so
all the things of it.
It's definitely a risk, but I think the more risks I take, the more awesome a person I've become, and same for everybody I'm around.
It's a game of life.
I'm definitely gonna learn way more out of my comfort zone than I am in that comfy little place that most people love to just nestle up in. So
it is comfortable.
There's no growth without strain and stress.
Yeah.
I'm really comfortable too. I know I've laid on the couch too long, and it hurt worse laying on the couch than it did just standing up and going to do something.
Yeah. Atrophy is a thing.
Yeah.
The restless leg syndrome or something where you're just like, I haven't done anything and somehow my body hurts. That is the worst for me because it makes zero sense. I'm okay with
But that's an indicator.
being
So
sore.
that means get up and go unsore
Yeah.
by moving.
exactly. But that's why I love this community. Thanks guys for motivating me, because it definitely takes a village.
Yeah.
They say that, but most people don't have it, and we're over here just creating it because, again, DIY.
Yeah.
Well, if we didn't create it, would you think it'd evolve all by itself into
No.
it? No. So it's creation versus evolution.
You
And
gotta care.
evolutionism's out. Yes, we evolved and created first.
Exactly.
Right.
Created to evolve, not
Yeah.
evolve to create.
Learn as you grow.
I mean, how many times does it take you to hit your fucking thumb with a hammer before you're like, you know what? Let's start swinging this a little more cautiously.
I did that with rock walls a couple times. Probably 3 times building a stone wall. Before I got better at not jamming my fingers.
So it takes time.
Yeah.
Think about how many times you fell trying to walk. Jeez.
I wasn't even conscious back then. Sure, a lot.
I think you
Definitely
were
conscious
Yeah,
back
I think as a kid, probably a little more conscious than in your teens and 20s.
I don't have any valid memories before the age of 4.
Yeah, that's
Me either.
4 or 5, pre-kindergarten, I'm starting to come around.
a good point. Yeah, maybe I got one at 3. Anything else you want to touch on? Anything else you want to ask, Ashley?
I mean, this conversation could go on forever.
Anyway.
I feel like
Let's do it at the beginning. You can't do it all in one shot.
yeah, I mean, I just feel like just keep tuning in with the things that we're doing over here. I mean, because we're definitely...
We'll make it louder if you can't hear in the back.
Yeah, and we're just trying to, like, inspire and empower to take risks, to get out there, do new stuff, learn. I mean, this guy's been to Thailand, he's been to Mexico, he's been all over. I mean, like, the things that he's done, the momentum that he's created for himself since just, like, again, realizing what was right here for him has been so inspirational. And if anybody can do it, like, you know, if he could do it, I could do it, you could do it. It's just, you have to tap in. You have to drink the water. You have to immerse yourself in this lifestyle. And just like you said, eventually it's just part of what you do. Like, you don't have to habitually remind yourself anymore. It's just your life.
Yeah, you'll know. I'll be like, yeah, fucking Kong water feels good right now.
Yeah.
It's the same salivatory effect when I think about a beer.
Yeah.
Really?
Or a cigarette. I'm like, the water's got that same... In my head, I'm like,
Same.
I really want some fucking water. I really want to drink or
I didn't know it was that
or-
visceral.
It is for me.
That's awesome.
I
For
mean,
me, it is too. Especially, yeah. It's just,
it
it feels
clicks, and
so
I'm
good.
like, where is it? Like, I'll be honest. I don't know if you want to edit this part out, but I got drugged into a go-go room in Thailand. I had this with me, and it's dark in there with minimal lighting. This bitch wouldn't take no for an answer. So I had this. I just set it under my leg, and finally, like, she made me so damn uncomfortable. I just got up and bolted. Like, I waited for her to, like, turn and look. I got 2 blocks down the road. I'm like, uh-oh. Where is it? I wasn't carrying it. Where have you been? Where'd you go? She left in the go-go room. I had to run, sneak back in there, and it was sitting right there. Just dark room, dark bottle.
Wow.
I just snatched that bitch and fucking right back out of there.
That's a great. I'm not editing that. That's a great
So
story.
yeah, it might be B-roll, but yeah, I ditched this thing in a go-go room in Thailand and had to go back for
Well, it's worth going back for.
You're hilarious.
it.
Especially with the water's more important. than the
Way
bottle.
more important. Yeah. Yeah. What affects your mood and your experience and your vitality? What's your Instagram handle?
Oh, Justin Gardner 21.
Hydrogen Vitality.
Oh, that's one of
469.
them. Yeah.
Best Instagram handle
One of them.
ever. And the water also tends to pull you into all other domains of resonance, like into the numerology, into the sacred geometry.
Cymatics proves that.
Right.
If the water's not
Everything.
there for the signal to manipulate,
Carry with, yeah.
yeah, carrier frequency. It's
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're ever like browsing through Instagram, you're like, why do all these water nerds talk about the same thing? It's because you end up in the same frequencies, and everything in that world of natural biorhythms and resonance starts to make a little more sense because you start to feel it. I didn't know anything about that when I started, and I was just like, oh, these communities of numerologists and cosmologists and all that. I was like, oh, this makes a little more sense now when you actually feel it.
Yeah.
and see it, experience it. It's more validated if you can give it, check all 5 boxes of sense and sensory.
Yeah.
Well, I can smell it, I can taste it, I can see it, I can do it, be it. Must be true.
Yep.
At least for my reality. I don't know about yours.
Well said.
People are living in alternate realities, alternate consciousnesses. I mean, not calling anybody out, but you know, we got these tweakers around there. You can't talk any sense of them bastards.
Yeah.
All they're just like a rabid coyote looking for the next hit.
They're like meth heads?
Yeah,
Yeah.
tweakers.
Yeah.
Like, sit down and listen. Damn, man, I gotta go. Oh, God.
Alright, so you can follow us at rivercliff.farm, Appalachian Water Collective, both websites and Instagram handles. I'll put all the contact information below. We'll probably be, if you're in the southeast U.S., we'll be hydrating an event near you. Sarasota, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, got some in North Carolina. So if you're at all curious about anything we're doing with permaculture, with ionized water,
Signing autographs as well.
yes, with resonance, any of that, I'll put all the contact information below. But find Justin at Hydrogen Vitality 369. I think it's Justin Gardner 21.
Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, and then rivercliff.farm and the Appalachian Water Collective, and come with us deep down the rabbit hole.